A group of 20 to 30 people threw rocks, damaging an army truck. A spokesman for the army told us. That's when police opened fire on the crowd of civilians. 3 soldiers and 4 citizens were wounded when the army opened fire to quell a riot at one gas station. Police said clashes involving motorists erupted at 3 locations over the weekend. Officers arrested 7 protesters at one scene, leaving 6 officers injured. Tensions were running high due to high fuel prices, record inflation, and months of unrest. Sri Lanka, the island nation of 21 million, has struggled to get even basic necessities. 80% or 16.8 million people in Sri Lanka are skipping meals because they can't afford to eat. The UN has warned of a looming dire humanitarian crisis with millions in need of aid. Tightening global markets and inflation have worsened the problem. Blackouts happen daily for millions of Sri Lankans. Months of protests and employee strikes have resulted in new laws. Sri Lanka has classified power producers as essential services. This means that it is now mandatory for those workers to report for duty. Medicines are also in short supply. Hardest hit are dialysis and cancer drugs. These medications are often keeping patients alive. Dr. Vasan Ratnasingam, a spokesman for the Government Medical Officers Association, said if patients are in a queue for drugs, they will lose their lives. The Sri Lankan rupee has lost close to 50% of its value in 3 months. This runaway inflation just makes every other problem worse, say experts. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has for months resisted calls to step down over mismanagement. Broad efforts by the government, including placing guards at fuel stations, have failed. Sri Lanka has also closed schools and government offices for 2 weeks nationwide. The hope is that the reduced fuel demands will give some breathing room to the people and the economy. Global efforts are underway to support Sri Lanka and stop the collapse of the small nation. The WFP is trying to raise $60 million for a food relief effort between June and December. The International Monetary Fund is working with Sri Lanka on a bailout plan. This is necessary now since Sri Lanka has defaulted on $51 billion in foreign debt. Things do not look good for Sri Lanka right now. To stay up to date on the collapse of Sri Lanka, subscribe to this channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. Thank you for watching.